Here's my last day, my 20th consecutive day. This is my last morning. I was in my brush blind here about an hour and a half before shooting light, and in the darkness, the semi-darkness, I saw several deer move past me. I could just see their silhouettes. One looked to be a pretty nice buck. But here's a few images here of some bucks that I actually passed sitting this blind. Well, slow morning. Finished the hunt. Talked to a hunter that shot a 3x3 buck. Said he couldn't find it. I went back in the brush and ended up finding its blood trail and tracked it for about 400 yards. And I jumped it once. Never saw it, just heard it go. Sounded like a freight train going back there, but that's pretty much it. A few does this morning, and that one hunter shot a 3x3 that I talked to. He didn't even bother to go in the woods and look for it. Unbelievable. So I worked my way back to the wooded area near where that hunter shot the 3x3, and I got on the buck's blood trail. The blood was a little dark and it was very sparse, so I had to really look hard to find the blood. At this point, I'm about a good 500 yards from where I had last blood, but I'm just seeing a spot here and there. But the deer ended up going through this area, out through the distance there, and it crossed into some private agricultural fields where I could no longer follow its tracks. But being that this deer has at this point traveled well over 1,000 yards, I seriously doubt that the hit was lethal of any sort. But my plan here was to contact the hunter if I found the deer and give him the GPS coordinates and or take him back in here to retrieve the buck. Some nice deer tracks here, along with some donkey tracks. But you can see what a difference it is down here looking around. Nearly impossible to spot game here because they're going to hear you coming. There's just no way to step quietly in the desert. While glassing off a ridge line, I saw in the distance what looked to be a tree stand, so I'm down in the bottom of the desert here. I'm working my way over to check it out. Well, right away, for his setup is pretty good. We've got about 4 deer trails moving through the desert floor here with pretty good track. So he's watching this little desert wash trying to catch the deer traveling to and from. And right there, you can see the tree stand. We'll move around for a better look. And there we go. It's got it cable locked to this old tree here in the desert. He's got the sun to his back, and also the evening sun would be to his back as well, late afternoon, evening. So he's got a good setup here, good location. Don't have to climb very high, maybe about 6 feet. But sometimes here, that's all you need. This is his view from the ground level of the tree stand. So my potential of putting a tree stand in one of these washes just got confirmed. One of the local hunters obviously has a pretty good setup here. But where I was going to set up is 2 more arroyos up from this point. And the same place, I've got 4 or 5 deer trails coming through there with a lot of fresh track and sign. And this area as well has a lot of tracks and sign. Looks like his farthest shot is maybe about 25 yards, 360 to all his deer trails here. Okay. I included here a little drone flyover of some of the area that I was hunting out in the desert. And here I'm flying over one of those flat top ridges, which leads down into the wash. And it's a pretty good drop down there to the bottom from the top of the flat top. It can be 30 to 70 yards to the bottom. But there's a lot of bedding cover in these washes. You can see the tall trees, of course, the predominant creosote bushes that seem to grow all over in the desert. But this is just to give you an idea of the kind of terrain that I'm hunting when I'm out in the desert here. Hey everybody, Mav Hunter here. This is the 20th day. This is my last day of hunting. And so this will be my last evening hunt. And I'm going up the desert washes here. Still hunting for that I grazed his brisket about 4 or 5 days ago. I've seen him a few times, and he's apparently alive and well and chasing does. So Luna's upset because I left her in the truck because she can't go out with me. She just scared the deer anyway. So stay tuned. Let's hope that maybe tonight I can get a shot. Sneaking up to a spot where I saw the 4x4 buck the other day. Even though it's the last day, I'm still looking for this huge 6x6 over 200 class buck that I grazed his brisket underneath his chest there about 5 days ago at a range of 71 yards. So I'm almost to the lookout there at the edge of those rocks. I'm sitting on this little overlook here where 2 washes come together, forming a natural pinch point. The setting sun is behind me, but there isn't much setting sun because it's partly cloudy today in the southwest Arizona desert. I'll give you a look at this wash. Still snorting at me. Right there you have one wash coming down. And you got a little hill there. A lot of game trails, donkey trails, deer trails. They use it to cross these washes. I've got this nice little wash here. I've pre-scouted it. Both of these washes have 2 or 3 main deer trails that come up to this ridge where I'm sitting. So what I'm hoping to do is spot the deer first. And I've got on my moccasins so that I can slip into sort of a intercept position once I can see which trail they're on and which way that they're going. There's a third. It's called a cut over there. So it's not quite a wash. It's sort of a mini wash, about 50 yards wide. So I've got 1 cut and 2 washes coming into this place that I'm watching. Working my way along the ridge line up top, I can hear some strange noise in the distance. So I turn around and look here, but what I've discovered is about 800 yards distance here, there's 2 bucks, and they're fighting each other. So the sound I hear is the clashing of their antlers. They're out there a good 800-900 yards through the binoc, so I'll try to zoom in, but it's a long way for my little camera. Yeah, they're still fighting. I can hear it. Now I see them out there in the distance. I try hitting the grunt tube a few times, and I definitely got their attention. They both stopped looking my way. The bucks have split up. One's going back to the left on the ridge, and the other one disappeared over the backside there of that ridge to the right. They're out there quite a ways, and being the last evening and about 30 minutes till dark here, there's not enough time to try to put together a stock, but maybe next year. Doing my usual last night camping of the season campfire. It's been going for about an hour now. I just put the last bit of the wood on, so I'm just watching it burn away, sitting under the nighttime stars with my little doggie Luna. Hi, Luna. Hey, Luna. There you are. So we're just sitting here waiting for the fire to die out. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Don't have to get up too early in the morning, but we're going to get up about 7 o'clock and then start packing the remainder of camp. I packed about half my camp today, this afternoon, before the evening hunt, keeping only the essential camp needs out that I required for tonight's dinner and tomorrow's breakfast. So, getting ready for bed. I've had a couple good chances at bucks that were over 190 this week. I've passed 9 other bucks that were very respectable deer, probably in the 140 to 170 range class of mule deer bucks. But it's been a long hunt. But when you've killed as many deer as I have over the last 55 plus years, I get choosy when it comes to deer. I tend to go for the bigger antlers, especially when I have freezers full at home already with deer and elk from other states. But down here, there's my little Luna, my little black lab. She's all tucked in with her blanket and her towel for a pillow. So there she is. Good girl. Good girl. So since it is 10:30, I better take and hit the sack here, get some rest. There goes the Zoomy dog. She got the zoomies. Come on.